Ah, that's it.
Good morning. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. It's a nice day here already. It's warm out, a little drizzly, little rainy, although I don't think that's expected to last. And most importantly, though, we're here. We're in the gym. We get to do our thing, the thing that makes us the most happy and content, at ease with everything else around us. Got a good push day ahead of us today. Looking forward to it. We're doing a little bit of the same as we did last week. A couple minor alterations, as you'll see here in the workout plan. We're going to be starting with those kettlebell raises again, those lateral raises. I really enjoyed that. Again, like we mentioned last week, that center of gravity being lower because of the kettlebell. I don't know. There was just something about it. I really liked the way it worked our delts, the pump we got from it. It was a good warm up at the start of this exercise plan for the day as well. So we're going to do it again. We're going to increase the weight slightly though today. We're going to go up by 5 pounds on each kettlebell. It seems like we should be able to do it, but these are not very large muscles. So a 5-pound jump might be a bit too much for the delt to handle, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening there. If it is too much, we'll drop it back down to about 15 pounds, maybe 17 and a half. We'll see. We'll land somewhere where we can finish these out, especially as it's our first exercise. We don't want to go in there guns a-blazing and just going crazy with the weights here. But then we're going to be doing some more flat bench pressing again and some cable press downs. Now, I've got the press downs scheduled like I did last week, but I am itching. I am itching to use this new accessory and implement that I got. I had been mentioning a single handle extension, and this is actually one that I got on, I think, AliExpress, if I remember correctly. Now, when you buy stuff on there, it's a gamble. You never really know what you're going to get, and it's usually not the best quality in the world. But if you're smart about it and you're not buying things that you're going to be depending upon, like for instance, I've bought my son coloring books on there and stuff like that, and you're not in a rush to get it, well, I think it's a really good deal. At the end of the day, whether you buy it on Amazon or from Walmart or at your local grocery store, it's coming from the same place anyway. It really is, most of the time. This kind of stuff is stuff that I don't have a hard time buying, especially when it's this cheap. This was like $12, and I was like, look, it either works for a while and I get my 12 bucks out of it, or it doesn't. But this thing is solid. I mean, you could you could easily hurt somebody with this. This appears to be solid stainless steel on the inside with some nice, thick, grippy silicone handle here on the end of it. I wish I could literally hand this to you guys so you could feel it. This is one of the better gym implements I've bought from a durability standpoint, and I think the amount of use we're going to get out of it. We're going to be using this for some tricep press down, single arm movement type stuff, but also like hammer curl type movements. It's going to be perfect for those types of things. So I'm itching to use it. We'll see if I figure out a way to use it by the time we get to our tricep press downs. Obviously, we could do, single hand tricep press downs. We might do that. We might, who knows? Just to use this implement, we might do that versus our dual handle tricep press downs. We'll see what ends up happening. But again, I'm dying to use this thing, and I want to give it a go before we leave on this vacation here. Okay, so that's today's plan. We've got a good one ahead of us. We're going to be finishing strong with those push-ups and cable crunch supersets again. Enjoying that little superset there to get in some additional work and really burn out the chest with just some simple bodyweight push-ups, nothing too fancy. So let's get after it. Let's start this workout strong. Let's get warmed up and go over and do our kettlebell lateral raises. See you there. All right, we've got these kettlebells loaded up here. I don't know if you can see this very well. I'll try to zoom in, or I'll get a little bit closer. How about that? So we've got these kettlebells loaded up with a couple different weights here. We've got our 10, we've got a 5, and then on each one we've got 2.5 pound weights. Now, why would we set it up that way? Well, quite simply, if we need to lower the weight, I want to make sure we've got the weight to lower. If I just put another 5 on there or even a 10, it's going to make it a little bit harder to actually lower that weight when and if we need to. So with this setup right here, we've got all the flexibility we need to either take off a 2.5, take off a 5, whatever it is we need to do to get the right arrangement of weight onto this so that we can actually lift it. I'm feeling pretty good right now. My right shoulder feels a little bit tighter than my left today. A little odd, but That's okay, it happens. But I'm thinking we'll be able to hit 20 pounds here on these lateral raises pretty well, at least for a set or two. We may need to lower it by the end there, but we'll take it one set at a time. Let's get after it. Oh, yeah. Great. All right. Set number 2. Set 1 felt great. Let's see if we can repeat that. Come on. Oh, getting warm. All right. Last set here. Let's nail this. We're going to be doing this set with myo reps added at the end of it here. So we're going to eke out everything we can from these lateral raises. Come on. Okay. Couple more. Come on. That's all we got. Whew, good. Very good. I'm glad we upped the weight this week, but my goodness, that was definitely a lot tougher. Definitely a lot tougher. All right, let's get this put away and get moved on over here because we've got some bench pressing to do. Good. Let's talk about barbell safety here. When we're on these bench presses and we're working out by ourselves, there's a couple things we don't skimp on, and I've talked about this before. We've got to have our safety straps set up. Safety straps, safety arms, whatever you prefer. Generally, when I'm flat benching, I like to have the safety straps set up over the safety arms, which are also a great alternative. There's nothing wrong with the safety arms themselves. I have a pair, I use them especially on incline bench, as I feel like on the incline bench, I can get them in the perfect position to catch that bar right when I start to actually fail. I can get it right there and it won't impede my overall range of motion. With the flat bench, I can do the same thing as well. I just feel like it takes a little bit more setup. And what I don't like about it with the flat bench is that with the safety arms, I feel like it's harder to get out of that if the weight does have to fall on top of you. Now, of course, you could always tuck and roll, although tucking and rolling out of a rack is not going to be easy. You know, you're going to end up rolling the weight directly into these arms. I'd rather not do that and damage things if I don't have to. So we've got these safety straps. And the benefit of the safety straps is that they're curved, so I can literally push that weight off of myself and get out from underneath it and not have it just be sitting on top of me. It works out pretty well in that regard. Now, the thing I don't like about these safety straps, these are the ones from Titan. They're quite long. I feel like they have a lot of slack in them, and that means that I can't really get them in the perfect position or on like the same plane. I have to have this forward-facing one much higher than the rear one. Now, again, from a safety standpoint, I'm okay with that because that means I can roll the weight off of me and it's going to roll up off of me as I push it this way, right? But it makes it hard, I think, to get this rear one in place. I have to get it right underneath the J cup where it's at right now. And then that means this one at the front here has to be way, way, way higher. So it's a give and take. Everybody has their preferences. The safety straps or the safety arms, there's not a huge major difference in which one is better than the other one. I don't think either one is necessarily better than the other. I think there's just different applications where maybe one is more advantageous than the other. Now, no dogs in here right now. They've been gone for a couple weeks now at the dog shows, and they'll be back in about a week and a half now. I miss them like crazy. But when I don't have the dogs in here, I don't need the clips on my barbell. I should say, when I don't have the dogs or really anybody else running around in here, if it's just me and maybe like one other buddy working out, I can trust them not to, stand next to my weight, knock it, that kind of stuff. But if you're in a busy gym, throw those clips on there. You never know who's going to run by you and knock that bar. The worst thing that could happen is they tip that bar over and that weight goes falling down on someone else next to you on the other side of you or on their feet, and they end up getting injured. The reason we leave them off, the only reason we should be leaving them off, is so that if we do get pinned under that weight, if we don't have safety straps, that we could dump the weight to one side, meaning you put all of your weight over onto the one, and then you just push that up so that the weight on the other side falls off the bar. Now the bar is going to ricochet back up. Remember, it's going to basically catapult itself, but it's a quick and easier way and a safe way, fairly safe way, to get that weight off the bar if you really needed to in a pinch. So in here we've got our safety straps set up, and I also don't have clips on them because I'm out here by myself. I'm sure I could get my phone to call my wife if I needed to. She's 20 feet away. But I'd rather have a second backup here to get this weight off of me if I really needed to and I was in a true emergency. So we've got the straps set up. The weight will fall here first and foremost, but if I really needed to, I've got no clips on here so that I could push one end up and get those weights off of the opposite end and get that bar a little bit more clear so that I could get out from underneath it and not hurt myself any further. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions on that, concerns, suggestions. I am open to it. I certainly don't know everything, but what I do know, I'm trying to share with you guys and the world out there at large, because I wish that information was available to me when I first started lifting. All right, let's get after this first set. We're starting with 275 this week. That's what we did last week. We're gonna rep this one out, and we're gonna be pyramiding up in weight. That's what I've decided to do. So every set, we're gonna pyramid up in weight slightly. I say slightly, I have a feeling we're gonna make some more than slight jumps here. But we'll see how high we can go over these 3 sets or so, and just bench some really big numbers today. That's what I wanna do. Let's get after it. Oh yeah. Oh, that was great. That was great. All right, we upped the weight to 315. 275 moved super easy, super easy. Now, are we gonna get 10 reps? I don't know, probably not, but that's okay. We're just pyramiding up in weight. I wanna see how heavy we can go. I wanna push some heavier weights with the barbell here and just get some heavy benching in today. We're not necessarily always concerned about hypertrophy, and we're starting to move out of our hypertrophy phase here. This is the last week. And honestly, this is kind of like the last week of school where the teachers are all like, just want to watch Pearl Harbor again? And you guys are just like, yeah, 3rd time this week, let's go, Pearl Harbor. We're going to put 315 up here. We're just kind of having a good time, goofing around, so to speak, but we're getting in a good workout too. Whether it's hypertrophy or strength focus, we're working those muscles, we're getting something in there, we're just changing the stimulus. So 315, keyed up on the bar here. Let's see how many reps we can get. I genuinely have no idea. It should be a decent amount. I'm not worried about how many, or even getting a few rather, but we'll see how many we get with regards to getting to that 8 to 10 rep range like we're aiming for. Let's do it. Good. All right. I'll take it. We'll take that. 20 more. 335. All right, let's get some Loud and Obnoxious queued up here for our last set. Super heavy here. I think I know just the song. This one's been good lately. Let's do it. Come on.
Ah, that's it. Whew. Well, tried. All right, we got our cable tricep press downs. Let's get after it. 70 pounds on the pulley, 10 to 12 reps. Let's do it. Nice. Set 2. Yeah. Oh. That first set, man, it always sneaks up on you after that first set. That first set really felt like, oh gosh, this isn't enough weight. We got to up this big time. But now, after that second set, it's there. That's exactly where it needs to be. It's exactly where it needs to be. So as you saw on that bench, we failed there, and we had to use the safety straps. And I'm not sure if you were able to see it, but exactly one of the problems that I highlighted for you with those safety straps happened, which is that the weight falls down on top of you, and the straps do a good job of catching it. You know, they're right here. They're like right on my chest. But because I couldn't, and this is exactly where these J-cups were for the barbell, because this is where I need them, the highest I can get those safety straps is directly underneath this J-cup. Now, I think if the straps weren't so loose, were a little bit more taut, not so long, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But because they are, it's going to get much lower than where it's actually sitting on the rack with regards to the holes here in those safety straps. It's going to dip down. It's going to be a big curve, right? And it did. It dipped down quite a bit. I had to push it off, ink out from underneath it, and then go on my day. It works. It's an imperfect system. But I would love to get some shorter straps if I can find them that'll work on this rack. That would allow me to feel a little bit more confident about using them. Maybe the answer is just use the safety arms full time, but I don't know. I feel like the safety straps are a little bit better. Maybe it's just in my head though. All right, set number 3. We're really feeling these. Yeah, very good. Wow. Okay, we're gonna do one more set. It's gonna be tough, that's for sure. All right, 4th and final set. We're gonna just destroy these triceps. It's gonna be a tough set. I can already tell. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Fight it. Come on, fight it. Come on. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Don't be afraid to look like the crazy guy in the gym talking to themselves sometimes. Sometimes you got to amp yourself up, hype yourself up to get through those sets, and I needed it right there, man. Whew. Okay. Dumbbell flies. Well, I promise that first set was fantastic. I looked over right as I was about to start set number 2 and realized we weren't recording. Sorry about that. Let's get after set number 2. I'm going to make this one just as good for you. No, better. Better. Good. All right. Set number 3. Whew. Okay. Wow. That deep stretch, man. We're feeling it. We are feeling it. 4th set, final set. You ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. Yeah. Wow. Oh, God. That was awesome. Awesome. All right. That's today's workout. I got some push-ups and cable crunches to do here. I'm going to clean up a little bit, do some sweeping. There's just stuff everywhere. I don't even know where it comes from. The dogs aren't even here right now, so I don't have them to blame. Hey, thanks for showing up today. Good job showing up. It's not easy, and I know a lot of you struggle with that consistency, that drive, that motivation, and I want you to know we all do. It's not easy to get out here every day. You know, this morning the internal battle was, do I stay inside and play video games, or do I go out and work out? That happens every once in a while. Probably a couple times a week for me, honestly. Especially when the video game released this week that I've been waiting for quite some time. But we get out here. This is what we need. We know we need this to center ourselves. We need this to have that mindfulness for as much of the day as possible, to start us off in the center on the right foot and not allow us to start immediately on the wrong path, the path that's just not going to work for us, that's going to produce probably less than desired results. It doesn't mean that there's a right choice or a wrong choice. It just means that there's probably better decisions, better choices for us to make in those moments. Others can bring us happiness and joy in the moment too, but are they going to produce the same long-term results to keep us mindful, happy, and content throughout the whole day? That's what we've really got to weigh sometimes. And the answer to that question at times is going to be yes. Yes, they will. In fact, they may even produce more of that than working out might. And that's okay. That's okay. It comes and goes. It dips and it rises again. But the gym, as I've told you before, will always be here. It's not going to leave you. It's not going to abandon you. It's always going to be here for you so that you can come back to it. You can center yourself on that thing, that consistency that you know you can rely on and depend upon to be there for you. Good job showing up again. I'm proud of you. I really am. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.